Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayenine and then a press conference what to ramble in the jungle. Or they want to me update be by. Or say want to me camp on phobia be hunting for plea bargain ya de Debbie Debu rejected. The entire rejection or the munchemu by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama were revealing Komobi on D about oral cases ne corruption scandals I told you in the last 8 years and the MPP yet the home some eba. Now see oral cases in the great delay and Philly saying. I mean he said so sometimes we feel frustrated and stuff like that. Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayenine and or the same pina tuja by interest never you wound to be case no. You be jump area more high and Jan to a team but subscribe channel is here we are now turn on notification bell and send a drop video now. Wonsa ebeka video yi obe enjoy pa nti wo hwe nyina no obe like it na wa comment in the comment section of friends wa share amafoforo so anya bi ahwe you ne papi e ma mo e wona na Janto TV the omo ne say Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayenine and in his government accountability series no okopie mo Jubilee House and on the press conference chenchirenche pa otunidi ramble in the jungle remember that I mean and then the exposé was on the former chief executive officer of the food and buffer stock and no whon seven or the kotu Ghana scandal no say around 78 million Ghana cedis obobon panyimfo bi din ama wahab mokrampo na no CEO den no papa no aba be deny say the Attorney General to Ghana inaccuracies be bregom at the appropriate time obeba out or then some to ga efa gift or remember any former executive director Edema National Service Secretariat which is the NSS also almost scandal no na enye 630 million Ghana cedis o say the dika kind or scandal no 2.2 billion Ghana cedis abusia medika catch say scandal ma body na nyeska ketwa o na interest na nkasa chema Wontumi de no unim say chema Wontumi nso nhwemu gu so ekoso mine ho nsensem ene kas bi woni fie nsem bebre na Dr. Dominic Ayenine editu ja say munim say chema Wontumi camp gofu bi ba ne ho senka omo be ye plea bargain say bi o ye ne oba beka say bi anka say sikari bet metua say na nka bia what as na punishment ko aba foma na aba fom eno na Dr. Dominic Ayenine say dabi when you too enya Wontumi de nko o sin gofu bebre yeah they've been caught in the web of corruption alleged corruption no what I say omo be so omo plea bargain but no what say mama court no enteki ni course na enya na djuma enti enya say bia what won plea bargain ade any do ebi kwa be na ni mo reject including Chairman Wontumi yankoni nkote Dr. Dominic Ayenine Attorney General of Ghana.
Reports are still coming into my office. Now those who are pushing me to go to court and who are saying that by now convictions should have been obtained, I know you are Ghanaians, you have legitimate expectations of your government officials, including the president and the Attorney General. But we need to do a good job. Accountability costs resources. Accountability, takes time. And so it is important that Ghanaians are patient so that we have the kind of results that I'm announcing today. Not that I will rush to court. Defense lawyers will come and raise objections, throw my case out, and then the same Ghanaians who wanted me to go to court expeditiously will now turn around and say that Ayenine is an incompetent Attorney General. I was never an incompetent lawyer in private practice. I don't want to be an incompetent lawyer in public service. So I want us to take our time to do the kind of work that I'm announcing today. And I want to also let you know that I'm under no pressure from any quarters to cut any deals. Mr. President, who is my boss, has never put pressure on me. On the contrary, when I brief him, he gives me his blessing. He doesn't even express an opinion one way or the other. He says, Dominic, I've heard you. All right? The Chief of Staff has never put pressure on me to cut a deal with anybody. The Secretary to the President, Dr. Kalisus Mahama, has never put pressure on me. On the contrary, he encourages me. He says the work is stressful, but I should keep on. The Legal Counsel to the President, my former boss, has never put pressure on me to cut any deal. Offers have been made, and I have turned all of them down. I have told everybody, please go to the court. If you want a plea deal, I'm filing cases. In the Wontumi case, offers were made to us for a plea deal. I said, no, I'm filing charges. If you want, announce your intention for a plea deal to the judge. That is now my strategy. The MPP took advantage of my saying that I'm open to to having plea deals to say, okay, that I was busy cutting deals in the office. No deal has been cut, and no deal will be cut except under the auspices of the court of competent jurisdiction. That is what I have decided, and that is what we are going to do, going forward.
So that was Dr. Dominic Ayeni, Attorney General, or even His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the sitting President of the Republic, on for pressure and tonoso. Chief of Staff Julius Zebra and for pressure and tonoso. NDC, Amanyo Kona, Kuku dan for Munina, Komun for pressure and tonoso, and Tibunya Botre, the Biaba Kona, the Biaba Koano one. No, Anna journalist be at the press of Kobus and say, I am no Philly saying, say, oral cases in the delay, say, in fact, no crime say, I am no Philly frustrated because Uncle expected by now, and Kagana Fortin some the FEO and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama established here. But would say, Wheel of Justice had it here, a bit slow, sir, but I'm the Pamuno, and won some about one tier. You should move in about Kutuja. And Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayeni confirmation. Sometimes he feels frustrated, but he trusts the system. Or in Chemu by adequate who say, dear, all the issues, no, they will get to the finality of all these issues. Send about the perpetrators will be brought to book. Dr. Dominic Ayeni once again, the Attorney General.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much for the questions. The question of how I feel when people say, the oral cases are delaying, I feel frustrated because the work of prosecution is not done by the Attorney General alone. The Attorney General depends on investigators for the raw material to be able to prosecute. So today's announcement of the Rumble in the Jungle is from investigations over the last 8 months. Excellent work done by Mr. Raymond Archer of the Economic and Organized Crime Office and his team. And I want to thank them very much for the wonderful work that they are doing. The oral investigations, also excellent work, is being done by the National Intelligence Bureau. As for them, we don't mention their names. And they are the ones in charge of the 34 instances or cases that were implicated in the oral committee report. And they are also doing excellent work. You can see from the charges we filed in national service cases that they did an excellent job. You can also see from my briefing on the DRIP case that they are doing an excellent job. So the point is that I have to wait patiently for all these entities to do their work and do the work very well, including, of course, the Financial Intelligence Center. And again, I want to extend, thanks to my junior brother, Kojo Chumbuafo. As for him, I can mention his name. He has been very, very, very critical when we talk about all these bank statements and analysis of bank data. Without him, we can't obtain them. Okay? So there are times that I call him at 2 a.m. because I'm reading an oral report and they need to fill in information about bank records, and I call him and say, in the morning, can I get this when you get to the office? And within 2 hours, he'll go and threaten bank managers and get the information for me. All right? So I will zoom into the next question, which is, when. I already said that the dockets, some have started, dockets have been built in others. When the docket comes, we will advise whether there is a prosecutable case. If there is no prosecutable case, and there will be instances where the investigators will differ from the complaints in the oral report, okay, because they have investigated and come to the conclusion that there are no acts of criminality. If that is the case, we'll just advise that the docket be closed. All right. Otherwise, we'll proceed to investigation. Then the question about real, estate companies and money laundering. That's an excellent one. I remember you said, a certain minister said it. It's the Honorable Sam George who spoke about it, some time ago, about a link between money laundering and real estate, development. Now look at the skyline of Accra. All right. Look at the skyline. It's changing rapidly. So my junior brother Kojo Chumbuafo and I are, collaborating to do something about it. It's not that we don't want the skyline to change. I want that when I'm flying in from anywhere, the skyline of Accra should look like the skyline of New York City. But it must be done with legitimate money. It must be done by hard-working real estate developers who have decided that they want to change the skyline and make business and make profit. So Kojo Chumbo Force, FIC, and I will be collaborating on that aspect of the problem. Then the National Cathedral Contract Termination and Board of Trustees. I've just announced that the Auditor General has asked one of the big four to do a forensic audit on National Cathedral. The audit, we gave them 8 weeks. I think we've done about 5 weeks now. So maybe in 3 weeks. And you, the journalist, when I say maybe in 3 weeks, next time I'm here, you said Cathedral in 3 weeks you get the reason you have it, you don't have it. No. They may ask for an extension. Okay. So maybe in 3 weeks we'll get a forensic audit report. It is at that point in time that I will decide, how to terminate. Okay, because in every contract there is a basis for termination, and that depends on the facts and the evidence. You cannot just terminate, a contract without a basis. I don't want any situation. The fact that we are investigating a crime doesn't mean that the companies involved did not do legitimate work. Somebody dug the hole and had to be paid to dig the hole. Okay, and if they were not overpaid, or they were paid and then they decided to give money as kickback to somebody. If I find a kickback situation, that is a crime. But otherwise, they are entitled to their money. Okay, so we will look at the findings of the forensic report before we do the termination of the contract. As for the Board of Trustees, the dissolution of the Board of Trustees, we are taking steps, to ensure that that happens. Now, the next question. So, Maxwell, I hope I've answered your questions very well. Now, the relationship between the Attorney General's office and that of the Auditor General, we work excellently together. Okay, and as the Minister for Government Communications indicated earlier, our collaboration is continuing, especially in respect to the Auditor General's report, the annual report submitted to Parliament. The President is serious that we should take that aspect of the work, and then make sure that those who are found to have engaged in infractions, are punished. And so, Mr. President met with us, not only myself and the Auditor General, but also the Chief Justice of the Republic and his team. And the idea is for us to set up special courts that are designated and given the mandate to deal exclusively with matters raised in the Auditor General's report that border on criminality. And we are going to take a two-pronged approach. Okay, one approach is criminal prosecution. The other is the exercise of the power of disallowance and surcharge under Article 187 of the Constitution. That power is granted to the Auditor General. The Auditor General can disallow an expenditure on the basis that the expenditure is illegal, unlawful, or criminal, and then where it is criminal, refer the matter to me, or where it is simply a matter of civil law, impose a surcharge, disallow the expenditure, and impose a surcharge. So we are going to adopt the two approaches and then make sure that we succeed in making the Auditor General report meaningful to Ghanaians. Then OSP says he is collaborating with my office. That is true. You've seen the exchanges. Yes, we are collaborating. All right. Maybe the pace of collaboration is not something that I have. That I am happy about, and I don't think that Ghanaians are also happy about the pace at which we are collaborating. All right. But yes, the office of the Special Prosecutor and my office are collaborating. I thank you all, and God bless all of you. Thank you for coming.
abusafo ya na mu nyina asesa mo hwe na Jantoa TV ni me ni gidi ese video no enjoy pa we enjoy ya in the comment section leave your comments there we are no like it na fe wa share ma foforo so anya bia hwe emre pam ya besa ne mo di share bi I think the next episode will be the Sukatwa man Nana Kojo Jantoa obetene nka enche ya na mu nyina ase mo ne di share mu ya besa ne mo share bi bye bye peace.